Brooke Reilly here, sitting with Nick Ciampanelli, candidate for Vice President of Student Experience for the Student Government Association. Nick, thanks for joining me.
Of course, anytime, Brooke.
So Nick, you're running for Vice President for Student Experience. What made you decide to run for this role?
That's a great question. I chose to run for Student Experience because of how much the student experience at Quinnipiac has given me. Throughout my 4 years here, I have been touched by almost every single aspect of it, from Greek life, multicultural organizations, to traditions and spirit that we have here at Quinnipiac, and even more. And with that, all of that experience and how much this has given me, I believe I have a rather holistic perspective of what the student experience is and synthesize it all together in order to try to improve it for everyone else.
And Nick, you've had a couple of years on SGA now. Can you talk about your time on SGA and elaborate maybe on some of the initiatives you've done that have prepared you for this role?
Of course. So freshman and sophomore year, I served as a class senator. Additionally, I was also the secretary for this year. The secretary role just involves maintaining minutes, agendas, contact list, and along with our Dropbox and any other formal records that we have. But some initiatives I've worked on my freshman year, I was working on having an event that could build communication a little more between the freshman class as they come into college so they don't feel as lonely and can help make friends and make Quinnipiac feel more like a home. This year, I've also been actively working on bringing murals to campus in order to promote Quinnipiac's history, culture, and spirit, along with the implementation and mainstreaming of gender mixed housing in our residence halls.
And a big part of the role for Vice President of Student Experience is making sure organizations are going smoothly, students are engaged with the Quinnipiac community and feeling included. How do you plan to do this?
That's also a great question. So there are a lot of ways that this can be improved upon, and just to touch on 3 of them quickly, as I mentioned with my gender mixed housing, I do want to continue advocating for that, and I'm in the process of speaking with residential life to have new options for this to be mainstreamed and more widely available to not just the LGBTQIA+ community, but also for students at large. Additionally, I would like to work with Damian Lane from the Department of Cultural and Global Engagement, along with the Multicultural Student Leadership Council, in order to create a campaign against microaggressions, because over the past 4 years, we have seen this as a continuous problem on campus, all the way from students to administrators to even admissions, which poses a big problem. And the third point I just want to touch upon is creating an event for international students during parent and family weekends, because these individuals do not always have the best means for their family to come to campus, see what it's like here at Quinnipiac University. And we want them to still feel recognized and a part of our community when their family can't be there.
And if elected into this role, obviously we're given a unique situation right now, being away from campus and doing everything virtually. How do you plan to begin this role virtually, and how do you see yourself continuing with it if this happens to go into the fall?
Switching everything online will actually be rather easy for me. I'm currently employed as a Title IX assistant over in the DCGE, and I work very closely with Caitlin Wells, our Title IX coordinator. I actually was in charge of programming Sexual Assault Awareness Month, which we had to switch everything online to the best of our ability in order to celebrate and promote this event and sexual assault awareness. Along with, I am on Students for Environmental Action as the event coordinator, where we were planning our Earth Day celebration and had to also transition that online. And so I have already an experience to quickly adapt to the online scenario, and it would be rather easy to make this transition. And assuming that this continues into the fall, I would like to work closely with each different organization's executive boards in order to help them promote more events, awareness, and activity on social media and promote student engagement.
And Nick, my last question for you is, what makes you the best candidate for Vice President for Student Experience?
I believe two things make me the most qualified candidate. One is my experience, not just in the different facets of the student experience, but also understanding and truly communicating with these different organizations, identities, and understanding their needs and what they want to see changed.
Thank you, Nick. Be sure to stay up to date with all of our content on each candidate at q30tv.com/SGA 2020 elections, and be sure to stay up to date with all of the candidates on our social media platforms at Q30 News.